So this video is about the dark night of the soul. So we are in this group that we call Ascension Group. We're now officially the A team, and we have this incredible spiritual master that we like to call her our master.
Her name's Amaya. She said I could say her name.
Oh, good. Okay, Amaya. And so we had an Ascension Group last week, and she called me out on my, you know what. And she basically...
No, I don't know what.
Well, she basically said to me that she's like, Natalie, she goes, so I think it's time that you start speaking your truth and step into your light. And I was like, yes, that's why I'm here. Like, tell me, what can I do to do that? And she's like, you need to start telling the truth, because you go around and basically lie to people, and you make people feel good, and you stroke their ego, and you give them compliments only so that they'll like you. Because you want to be liked.
And she said that you wear a mask.
Yeah. So that's your mask of being like this like happy, confident person that's like happy and smiling all the time. And as she was saying it, my eyes were welling up with tears because I knew she was right. And I'd known it before, but I had always just said to myself, but I naturally smile, you know, like I don't know what to do about that. I mean, that's always been who I've been, but when I really thought about it, I realized that that's how ingrained the programming is. That's how like deep it is, where if someone comes into my presence, I almost can't not smile, even if I'm upset. And I don't know how to be angry or irritated and express that honestly. I don't know how to do it with these guys, and I'm living with them. So like when I feel frustrated, when I feel irritated, I'm so afraid of being judged that I just don't say anything. And I just either be by myself, or usually I be by myself. That's my goal, which, I mean, that's my strategy, which, so when I realized this, I realized how deep it is, and I went back to my childhood, and I remember like so wanting to please my parents. And it came from that little girl. So basically I've been doing it for 30 years. And the idea of changing it was so overwhelming to me that I basically went and laid in bed for 2 days. And I just like cried, and I seriously just felt like I was in this dark night of the soul. I didn't want to see anybody. I didn't want to do anything. I just felt like so lost. And I think the thing that brought me out of it was my spiritual practices. I just kept having trust, and I kept going back to surrender. Like, okay, God, like, all right, Spirit, this is a necessary step. And in Christ's Blueprint, or somewhere, it talks about seeing these things, these times as an initiation. So Spirit is calling you to go to the next level. It's time to go to the next level. So you've got to.
said that.
Oh, okay. Beckwith says it. So I saw it like that, and I just kept trusting and writing and meditating and reading. And even when I didn't feel like reading, I would do sacred breathing. I would just like lay in bed on my back, and in between crying, I would be doing sacred breathing. I just kept, and not trying to get anything out of it, just like doing anything I could just to like keep staying in that trust. And eventually I was able to like get out of bed and eat something, and then I could look people in the eye kind of, and then I just kind of, and then I started to get some serious downloads. And I've spent a couple nights in a row now just writing and getting back to service and getting back to, I've been asking God like things about career and making money, and I felt so stuck in that way, and I've just gotten huge breakthroughs, and they keep coming. It's like just this huge waterfall of ideas and excitement and passion, and it's like everything's opened up again. And I still don't know how to completely get out of these patterns, except to ho'oponopono it, which is cleaning and clearing the programs for myself and for consciousness, because we all want people to like us. That's a terrible program that we've adopted. So to keep working on that, and then to really try moment by moment to be real, to be authentic, and That's super hard for me. I didn't know how hard it was for me. I mean, it's weird because sharing stuff like this is authentic and it's not hard at all. But when I really have to say to somebody, I'm not happy. And even being depressed, I can share. But being irritated, being angry, and I think a lot of that is that you know, they call it the triple goddess. It's like that fiery spirit, that woman, feminine power. There's something in there for me that I haven't figured out yet that is difficult for me to call forth and to own and to be. I guess it probably goes back to people won't like me if I'm angry, if I'm spirited, if I'm fiery, if I'm...
And then what happens if people don't like you?
Then I'll be alone.
And then what?
Then... if I'm alone, then I'll be unhappy.
And then what?
And then I won't want to live. And then I'll
what?
die. And then there's no God.
And it's all over.
And it's all for nothing. Yeah. Like if I chase it back, that's... which is ridiculous, right? Then you look at that and you go, oh, okay, good. That's not real.
Right.
So there's a place to start with it. So
yeah.
So anyways, that's the dark night of the soul.
For Natalie.
For me. Yeah. So
It's not so bad after all, is it?
no, and then you look at people like this and you go, how could like the dark night of the soul is ridiculous to have a dark night of the soul. Right? Sophia, what do you think about dark night of the soul? Yeah. Right? It's like, seriously, you look at kids. I look at my son. I mean, he was such a healer during that time. I kept looking at him going, what? Like, none of this is real or true. I can let it go. As simply as he is looking at me smiling. He's free. And I can be too. It's just a choice. So.
It's good stuff. Nice work, Nat.